Yeah, I got this. I'm good. And now for some interpretive dance. Go. Well, hello. I'm Steve Bloom. I'm a voice actor from Los Angeles, for those of you who don't know me. You guys might know me as Spike Spiegel, the voice of Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop. Some Bebop fans here, nice. And Wolverine from Wolverine in the X-Men. And video games and stuff. Starscream from Transformers Prime. And Amon from The Legend of Korra. So anyway, I feel very fortunate that you guys had me out here to Guam. Thank you to the promoters of this show. You guys are amazing. Have you guys been treating them nicely? Felix, Barry, yeah? All right.
I love you, Barry.
Make sure that you give them a hug. Every one of you give them a hug. A really, really sweaty one before you leave today. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm not kidding, actually. Anyway, so I thought we'd just kind of open this up to you guys. If you have some burning questions, come on up to the mic, and I'll try to answer your questions as best I can. And don't be shy. I see a hand way back there. You want to ask a question? Come on up. There's a microphone right here. Wow, nobody's going to come up to the microphone. Here we go. All right, everybody give him a hand. Good. How you doing?
Hey man, I was just wondering, was there ever like a line where you read it was just like so dumb, in your head was, okay, this is really stupid, but when you read it, you felt even more stupider for reading it?
Like about half of the lines that I do? No, I mean, I trust the writers, and sometimes even if the line seems stupid to me at the time, it might make sense in the grand scheme of the story, and a lot of times we do things in little bits. So I try not to second guess that stuff, and I just try to make the most out of it. So the more stupid the line seems, the more I have to work at it, and I feel like I'm earning my money. So, you gotta stay humble somehow. So that's how it works for me. That's a great question, though. But yeah, there are a lot of stupid lines written sometimes.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. Woo. All right, come on up. Don't be shy. Come on up. It's okay. I don't bite real hard.
How was it like voicing Aaron from Gurren Lagann?
Liron from Gurren Lagann? Oh, well, that was a little bit of a departure for me, hun, because I usually do like really gnarly kinds of voices or creatures and things like that. So when I got to explore the lighter side of my life, it was sort of liberating. You know, I could wear heels to work. It was fabulous. And I got to say, when you screw it in, give it a hard, manly twist.
So, that's something you don't get to say every day. So, yeah, it was awesome. Actually, Liron was a really fun role for me because one of my good friends, Tony Oliver, was the director on that show. He's a very straight-laced, very professional man. And in the booth, I took it on as my goal to make him squirm as much as possible. I made him incredibly uncomfortable. And after every line, I would just look at him to see how red in the face he was or how sweaty he was, to judge how well I did the line. The worse he felt, the better it was, so, for the whole show. Thank you. Awesome. All right, come on up. Come on. There you go. Woo!
Have you ever had an embarrassing moment when you were voice acting?
Oh, I've had so many embarrassing moments, dude. I was auditioning for one of the Spider-Man games years ago, and I went in and I was screaming. It was one of the bad guys on the show, and I was at the microphone going, "Ah!" And it was like a 2-second long scream, maybe 3-second long scream, which doesn't sound like a long time, but when you're screaming at the top of your lungs, it's a very long scream, and you lose your breath. And I actually passed out. And that wasn't the embarrassing part. The embarrassing part was that they recorded it. And they brought it to a session. They were passing it around from director to director. And in another session, about 2 months later, on another show completely, they played it for me in the booth. And they're just laughing. And these guys are passing it all over town. It was horrifying. It was, ah! And you just hear me on the floor going, wow, I think I almost passed out. And you hear the door slam open, and the director and the engineer are in there going, oh my God, are you all right? Do we need to call the paramedics? No, I'm fine. What are you talking about? I didn't even know. So anyway, that was one of them. The other time, this one was really awful. I was in a booth, and it was a really small booth. They call it a whisper room. It's about the size of a big refrigerator. And it's comfortable for one person, maybe two if they're really small. And we had 5 people in that booth. And we're doing what they call walla, which is all the background voices for a show. You know, like a crowd. Like if we were trying to simulate you guys here, there would be maybe 5 of us and we could do all of your voices all at once. So we're in there doing this thing, and I'm in the middle of something. I think I was doing a creature thing. And I'm going, and all of a sudden a finger goes up my butt. And I didn't know who did it, and I went, and I spit on the window in front. There's a big window in front, and I cocked this giant loogie, and it sticks on the window and starts dripping down. And they're all laughing behind me. They think it's the funniest thing in the world. And so I open the door. We have to stop the session. I'm wiping it off and looking behind me, trying to figure out who it was. And it was 4 guys and a girl in the booth, and I found out that it was the director's girlfriend who had done it. And the director knew, and he was fine. He was laughing too. So that's one of many, many things. But yeah, lots and lots of embarrassing things happen there. Thank you. You guys like embarrassing moments, right? Yeah. I bet there have been some here, I imagine. Come on up.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
I'm sure I speak for many of us here who are interested in either voice acting for video games or anime. What are the core basic requirements one would need before going out there?
Well, that's about a 4-hour conversation. And we were talking about that a little bit on the way in here, and that's why I usually don't like to do that in the context of these things, just because there's so much to know. And if I touch on one thing, I'm missing out on so many other things. The basic things that I would say are get an acting background first, because voice acting is acting, and just being able to do a few voices is not going to carry you through on the professional level, because chances are there's a guy at